Hello everyone! Welcome back. This is part 2 of Froggies and Fever, the DaiSugaIwaOi Parents AU. Guess what? I'm adding angst to this story. Just a tinge of drama because yes, drama. I don't feel like explaining myself. This is gonna be great. I hope you will like it. Enjoy! How is she? Daichi came home almost perfectly timed for dinner. However, Rika refused to eat, saying she was too tired. They left her to rest on the couch and Iwaizumi kept her company while eating his portion at the coffee table. But even after offering her some of his meal, she ate none. Afterwards, the trainer carried her swiftly to bed, skipping her usual evening routine, seeing as the sickness seemed to be taking a toll on her. Tired, mostly. She has a light fever, so that explains it for the most part. Daichi nodded, although he could see the word crease appearing between Iwaizumi's brows, and he himself had a hard time shaking off his concern for their little daughter. It was all still new to him. A year wasn't enough time to get used to the emotional roller coaster that having a child was. What about you? Feeling better already? Iwaizumi sighed, closed the distance between them, and let his head slump against Daichi's shoulder. A sound akin to a whine escaped his throat. I hate being sick, Daichi. I can't work out, I feel like draping cotton, and I can't even breathe properly. Daichi chuckled slightly. He let his fingers roam through Iwa's hair and soothingly scratched over his scalp. My poor Hajime. Come, let's get you to bed as well then. You're making fun of me. I would never. He pouted, which was truly a rare sight on the usually rather stoic trainer. It gave Daichi a hard time not to laugh, and ultimately he might have failed a bit. You're just as mean as Toru. I heard my name. What's going on? Aikar's ability to pop out of nowhere could be truly unnerving. If he wanted, he'd make for a good horror movie actor, though he was perhaps too conventionally attractive to play the villain. You're both mean to me. Iwaizumi might complain, but he continued to hide his face against Daichi's neck and lean on him for support. Aikyuu visibly struggled not to laugh just like Daichi, but there was fondness in his eyes as he watched them. Aw, no. Haji, we would never. Liar. The setter looked like he really wanted to tease him about it, but bit his tongue. With every word from the smaller, it seemed to take him more effort. How about I prepare a bath for you, with these oils that are good for colds and clear the nose? Sounds good? The trainer nodded weakly and put even more of his weight on Daichi while Aikyuu rushed off again, this time to the bathroom. How come you managed to carry Rika to bed, but now you're practically dying on me? Motherly strength. Daichi laughed and gently guided them to follow Aikyuu. While the setter took care of Iwaizumi, Daichi changed into pajamas as well and searched for Suka. He found the teacher in the kitchen, gathering some things he neatly organized on the dinner table. Koshi, what are you doing, honey? Suga looked up startled but smiled when he saw Daichi, though the police officer could see the anxious unrest reflected in his eyes. Just gathering some things in case Rika needs anything tonight. He inspected the pile more closely and found mild medicine like cough syrup among heating pads and snacks. It shouldn't have surprised him, but it did. And here I thought you'd be the reasonable, calm, and collected one of us. Suga raised an eyebrow but sighed and let himself fall down on one of the chairs. Daichi gave him a soft smile, closed the distance between them, and gently took him in his arms. He placed a kiss on top of his hair and soothingly wrapped over his arm. What's going on, Koshi? I don't know. I take care of sick kids all the time. They either get sick at school or have stupid parents who send them to class regardless so that they can get everyone else sick. But this is different. This is Rika. She's our daughter, and I think I get it now. Why some people are so overbearing, I mean. I know it wouldn't help anyone, but I'm this close to marching into the nearest doctor's office with her and demanding they heal her. Daichi hummed in agreement. Yeah, I get it. I hate seeing our little bunny sick, but she will be better soon. Nobody can stay sick for long when you look out for them. I know that from experience. You'll see. Tomorrow she'll be jumping on the couch again, earning a scolding from Iwaizumi while Aikawa remarks that she'll make a great volleyball player if she can jump so high already. Suga chuckled. It was a common reoccurrence in their home, and honestly, too adorable to stop it. Should he take Iwaizumi's side? Probably. But she looked so happy when jumping around and playing the ground was lava. Besides, it wasn't like Iwaizumi didn't allow her to bypass rules when she looked at him with those puppy eyes. It was a hard balance to find, and the first time she stormed off saying she hated them for enforcing a rule hurt really hard. He sighed, his gaze falling on the small pile of items again. Hajime said she had a light fever. We'll need to keep an eye on that throughout the night. I'll do that. You should rest. You've been caring for the two of them the whole afternoon and evening. I can take over. For a moment, Suga looked like he wanted to protest, but then nodded, visibly tired. Okay, I'll leave it to you. Daichi pressed another kiss to his temple before getting up to check on the other two and giving Suga the room to get ready for bed. Daichi had sat down with a book to wait and later check on Rika again. For now, he wanted her to rest. He'd measure her fever again later. At least, that had been the initial plan, but halfway through the chapter he just started, coughing from her room startled him. His brows furrowed in concern, and he took the cough syrup with him before making his way to her room. He knocked on the door gently before opening it and calling out to her. Her room was softly illuminated by a pink frog nightlight, but even though it was dimly lit, he could see her clearly on her bed, with tears streaming down her face. She reached out to him as soon as she recognized him standing in the doorway, while her body was still shaken by small waves of coughing. Hey, shh, I'm here. He rushed over to her and soothingly pulled her into his arms. Daichi patted her back to ease the coughing, but it did little to help, and soon she struggled in his arms again, clearly in distress. He didn't like how her breathing sounded. It was irregular, and she struggled to take a deep breath or form words. Carefully, he helped her sit up straight and inspected her face. Rika, it's okay, I'm here. We'll figure it out. Can you try to take a deep breath? Like this? He breathed in deeply and watched as she attempted to imitate the action, but only ended up coughing again. Alright, it's okay, it'll be better soon. He wrapped over her back again to ease the coughing as a cry left her throat. Once she calmed a bit again, he cupped her cheek before moving his hand to her forehead. She felt warmer than before. Her eyes were glossy, and while he wasn't sure, he didn't like how pale he was. Her skin almost appeared a bit bluish. Alright. We'll be going on a little trip now, okay? I'll bring you to someone who can make the coughing go away, and you'll feel better right away. She clung to him while sobbing quietly and nodded weakly against his chest, still too distraught to say something between the sobs. He picked up easily. His heart clenched as he saw her in pain, and he could understand Suga very well. He wasn't sure this warranted a trip to the hospital already, but it was better to be safe than sorry. Any prolonged struggles to breathe definitely were a reason for concern. He sat her down on the couch with a blanket draped over his shoulders. I'll be right back. I'll get Daddy or Chichi to accompany us and tell them that we are going to the hospital, okay? And Froggy. Her voice was raspy and she clearly struggled to say the words. The last one was barely audible, but he understood regardless. Froggy was her favorite plushie and she got anxious when it wasn't with her. Alright, and Froggy. I'll be right back. Stay here. He rushed to their bedroom to wake up the others and gently shook Aikawa's shoulder. Toru, Koshi. He tried to remain quiet, not to wake Hajime as well. Out of all people, he needed the rest. "5 more minutes. No, Toru, it's urgent. Daichi? What is going on? I'm bringing Rika to the hospital. I think it'd be best if one of you could... To the hospital? Oikawa rushed to sit up, his head colliding with Daichi's, who had hunched over to wake them. He groaned and rubbed his forehead while trying to regain orientation, still sleep-drunken and not quite awake yet. Don't worry, it's not an emergency yet. I would have called an ambulance if that were the case, but I would like to avoid this becoming an emergency. What happened? Daichi could see in his eyes that Suga barely kept the concern at bay, as though he planned to rush out and get to Rika any moment now. I think her fever has risen, and she has struggled breathing. Alright. Yeah, hospital sounds right. He fought himself into a sitting position and was about to get out of bed when Suga grabbed the back of his shirt to stop him. Stay with Hajime, I'll go. No, I can sleep in tomorrow. You have to get up early. I go. You are barely awake. Not true. A yawn betrayed him. I won't be able to sleep anyway until I know how she's doing. Koshi. Koshi, Toto's right. Try to get some rest. We'll keep you updated. Make sure Hajime doesn't get a heart attack when he finds us gone. Betrayal flashed in Suga's eyes before he sighed, but relented. His decision seemed to waver as coughing echoed from the living room, but Oikawa squeezed his hand reassuringly and smiled. We'll take care of her. Don't worry. Fine. Make sure she's safe. Always. He went to fetch Froggy from Rika's room and helped her put on a jacket and shoes while Toto threw in a hoodie and sweatpants. Within minutes, they were ready to go. Lisetta picked up their daughter, who clutched her plushie tighter in her arms and snuggled up to him. In the car, he sat down with her in the back seat, holding her and wrapping her in a blanket cocoon. There you go. It's warm. But we need to keep you warm. That's your body fighting off those mean bacteria infecting you. He playfully tried to keep her mood up and make sure she was still responsive. Throughout the car ride, the coughing seemed to get worse, and Daichi was more than glad that he decided to go to the ER as he saw how much it hurt her. We're almost there. Thank you so much for watching to the end, especially after such a long break. I hope you liked it. If you didn't, don't forget to leave a like and don't forget to subscribe if you don't want to miss out on the next part. I really like this series, so I'm sorry that I was a little sick when recording this. I hope it wasn't too noticeable in the second half. But yeah, I hope it was still enjoyable. Tell me your favorite quote under the pinned comment and tell me if you want to see more series like this. Special thanks goes out to my nerdy Nekos. Thank you so much for supporting this channel. You make sure I can keep going with this. Here are my other social media. Check them out, or even better, look at the other videos in the end card. The next part will also be there if it's already out. Now have a wonderful and amazing day.
Get some good, some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you want to be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. Wake up, today's gonna be